guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is So. It has been a while, I am aware. I've been going through a whole lot of things. I just want to start off this video with a big disclaimer because this is starting off as an unhauling video, but honestly I struggle to unhaul books, so this might just end up being a video where I show you every single one of my books that I own. A little bit of a catch up. I moved house just before Christmas, like the worst time ever. My library room is now like basically set up with my streaming stuff as well, and my bookcases are now drilled to the wall, so there will be no collapsing, and I can now open all my books because I have a lot. I have a lot. So we're gonna go through them, I'm gonna unbox them, I'm gonna make piles behind me, hopefully. I'm gonna get rid of some. Most of them will probably go to either a friend or a charity shop, but if they're in decent condition or whatever, I might try and get my money back on them. We shall see. Like I said, this might not even end up being an unhaul video, it might just be a this is all the books I own video, because I don't know self-control and I hate getting rid of books. So let's just get into it because I have a lot of boxes. So the first one, like right next to me, is my Throne of Glass paperbacks. Now I'm going to keep this because I haven't read Throne of Glass yet. I have read Assassin's Blade, which is in this set, and I do own the hardbacks of all of them, but I like to be able to switch up. Like, I feel like paperbacks are really good for annotating and tabbing, but I love reading hardbacks and I like how hardbacks look. So I'm definitely going to keep them. From the label, it says it has mine and Connor's books in, so we shall see. Get a Life Chloe Brown, we're keeping. Bone Cries Moon, we're keeping, because I haven't read it yet. Witchborn, we're keeping. The binding was gifted to me by a friend at work who I read books with, so we're keeping. Sally Rooney, Conversations with Friends. I think I'm going to unhaul this purely because I brought it from a charity shop and it is like brand new apart from one crease down the side. I brought it from a charity shop when Sally Rooney was like all the rave, and now I just think that even though her writing is amazing to some people, I don't think it's going to be for me. And I don't think the book is like my kind of book, so I'm gonna unhaul this one. If I decide I want to read it, I'll probably just get it in audio or on my Kindle. I just don't feel the need to own it physically. The Ivory Key is one that I was trying to or planning on selling anyway, so we're gonna unhaul this one. This follows Vera is desperate to establish her legacy as a revered Maharani of Ashoka, but with the country's only quarry running out of magic, a precious source that has kept Ashoka safe from conflicts for centuries, she can no longer protect her citizens from the looming threat of war. Vera's only hope is to find a mysterious artifact of legend, the Ivory Key, but in order to retrieve it, she must reunite with her estranged siblings, who have taken very different paths. Vera, Ronak, Caleb, and runaway Reva each have something to gain from finding the Ivory Key, and even more to lose if they fail. But with each sibling harbouring secrets, the very thing that brought them together could tear their family apart and their world. So yeah, this is like a Fairy Loot or a Lumicrate special. It's signed, so it's Lumicrate. It's signed and everything. I just feel like it's not one that I'll reach for, and if I do reach for it, it will probably be like an audiobook. The story does actually sound quite good now that I've reread it, but I don't know, I look at it and think I'm never going to read you physically. I'm going to unhaul that one. I will also leave my Depop linked below because I do have some like Fairy Loot Lumicrate exclusives, and they don't cost you an arm and a leg. I only really charge like what I paid for the box. An Arrow to the Moon is also one that I've been trying to sell because this is, from what I remember, oh, that is not what I thought it was. I literally thought it was sci-fi. Hunter Yi has perfect aim with a bow and arrow, but all else in his life veers off course. Haunted by his family's past mistakes, the only things keeping him from running away are his younger brother, a supernatural wind, and a bewitching girl at his new school. Luna Chang dreads the future. Graduation looms ahead and her parents' expectations are stifling. Then, her life is turned upside down by the strange new boy in her class, the unearthly fireflies that follow her around, and an ominous crack that begins to spread across the town of Fairbridge. As Hunter and Luna navigate the feud between their families and uncover hidden secrets, everything around them begins to fall apart. All they can depend on is their love, but time is running out and fate will have its way. A spellbinding reinterpretation of Romeo and Juliet filled with romance, magic, and Chinese mythology. That is not what I thought that book was, so I will be keeping that one. Twin Crowns, we're definitely keeping. Look how stunning this edition is. I've been meaning to pick this up for the longest time. We have Gone Girl, definitely keeping. I got this from a charity shop and I'm itching to read it. Family Upstairs, also keeping. And The Witcher, The Last Wish. This is actually like a novella, I think. Probably should have got the first actual book, but I didn't. But I'm gonna keep it. So we have Stephen King's Everything's Eventual. I have been meaning to actually get through my Stephen King books. This is a second-hand one. Something satisfies me about the way the pages are like aged like that. Definitely gonna keep. We have Stephen King's The Institute, also gonna keep. And Stephen King's Outsider, also gonna keep. These Violent Delights, I need to get around to this, so I'm also going to keep. Neon Gods, I have read. I don't know if I will keep this physically or not, because it was really, really good and I really loved it. However, I don't know if I'll buy the rest of them physically or not, so I'm not sure. I'm going to keep that, put it in the keep pile for now. And Dance with Thieves, definitely keeping. Then we have The Fine Print, definitely keeping. And we have Stephen King's It, which I definitely need to get to. It's just such a chunky book. I love the films, but I really want to read the book. Oh my god, it's over 1,000 pages. That's crazy. This will take me forever to read. Second to last in this box is my Harry Potter books. Now I know there is a lot of controversy around JK and I do not agree with anything that she has said, but Harry Potter is important to me. I am separating the art from the artist and I will be having them on my bookcase, but out of respect for everyone else, I'm not going to show them in the video. However, I will say that every single one of my Harry Potter books is secondhand and none of them match. And then last but not least is my Game of Thrones collection. I am actually going to be unhauling these because it is the exact same as Connor's Game of Thrones collection. We don't need two that look the exact same. When I bought these, the picture on the listing was the all black versions, which is why I bought them, because I wanted the all black versions. But when they turned up, they were just the normal ones. So I'm going to be unhauling these, giving them to a charity shop, I imagine, because I could probably get pretty pennies for these. And Connor's is in much nicer condition. So that is one box down. I don't actually know if this is the letter I opened. No, I think this was just a dagger replica. So he's got The Kite Runner, Frankenstein, Bloody Chamber, Idiot Abroad, obviously not a classic, Dr. Faustus, Animal Farm, Much Ado About Nothing, and The Great Gatsby. Even if he didn't want to keep them, I would probably keep some of them because I haven't read them. So I have got Paper Towns. This will be unhauled. I don't even know why I still have this. I read this when I was like 16 and haven't read a John Green book since this kind of era. Both Die at the End, unhauling. I read this. It's about a world where you get a message the day that you're gonna die, so you have like 24 hours to kind of live your life, and it follows two young lads that get the text and they end up crossing paths and living their last day together. It was a really lovely book, but it didn't give me the want to cry that I was looking for, and it wasn't as emotional. I didn't feel connected with the characters, so for that reason I'm probably never going to read it again, and I'm going to get rid of it. Meg, Jo, Beth and Amy. This is basically a Little Women interpretation, like into a graphic novel. Really cute, but I just don't think... I bought it secondhand and then it got here and I was like, actually I don't think I'm going to really be into it. I might like give it a speed read and then pass it down to my sister, but that's basically an unhaul. And then we have The Embarrassment of Witches, which I thought looked really cute, but then when I got it, it wasn't the style that I thought it was gonna be. I think I'm going to maybe do a quick read and then pass it down to my sister. Definitely not getting rid of as many books as I probably should. Chain of Gold I'm gonna keep. I need to get Chain of Iron in paperback, and then Chain of Thorns. If they do a Cassandra Clare reprint in Fairy Loot, then I'm definitely going to grab it. Now, as for these two, I don't know, because I feel like this one is the one that I'm going to enjoy. I have read This Poison Heart and I did enjoy it, but I ended up listening to it on audiobook because I couldn't get into it that much reading it physically. But I did end up listening to it because that was the way that I managed to like consume it well. So I'm not sure. I want to give Cinderella is Dead a go before I kind of bin them both off though. So I think I might keep them. Well, I'm going to keep this one in my keep. I'm going to keep this one in keep too, just so I have them together if I do like Cinderella is Dead. Oh, and we have the Iron Raven, which again, this is part of the Iron Fae like world, but turns out this is a novella and not part of the actual series, so I'm gonna have to buy the actual series. Okay, so we have Beast of Prey. I think I'm gonna unhaul this. I did get this in Fairyloo. It was like a second book, but I've not heard very good things about it at all, so I think I might pass it on to someone who might enjoy it. But from what I've heard, it's not going to be as good as it could have been. This one I am in two minds about because I read this and agreed with pretty much everyone else on the planet that the writing style was really hard to like gel with and get into. But the actual premise of the book is really good. And the other two are out now, but I'm thinking I might be better off having them as audiobooks or ebook. Mostly audiobooks because then someone can read it to me. I just can't see me reaching for the other, like, I want to finish the trilogy, but I can't see me reaching for the other two in physical when everybody that I watch has said that the writing style stays the same, and I really did struggle. Like, this would take me like a day if that normally, and it took me so long. The chapters are so long. It's literally like 10 chapters, but it's like 300 pages. And yeah, it's just it's a weird writing style. I don't know. I just couldn't gel with it. So I think I'm going to unhaul this and get the others as audiobooks. I may change my mind after this video, but what you don't see is fine. Touch of Darkness, we're going to keep. To Kill a Kingdom, we're going to keep. Afterlove, we're going to keep. Fangs, we're going to keep. Gleam, we're going to keep. Even though this is the third one. And I brought it by accident when I meant to buy the first one. And I got the first one, but it's not this like shiny plasticky look because I got it from Waterstones. But I'm going to keep it because I do want to read the series when I get round to it. Honestly, the worst part about moving is all the boxes you accumulate. Silent Patient, we're definitely keeping because I loved that book. And I feel like if I leave it long enough, I could probably reread it and still enjoy it. Curse of Duck and Looney, I might actually unhaul this because I read it, I enjoyed it, but I can't see me reading it again. So I'm going to put it in the no pile. Red Queen, I still need to read it. Can you believe that? Circe, I still need to read. We're going to keep that. Poisoned. When I found this, I thought nobody has spoken about that. And it sounds really good, but I never find myself reaching for it. I think I'm going to keep it, and then I'll do like a books I think I'm going to unhaul vlog where I read all the books that I think I'm not going to like keep. Legendborn, definitely keeping because the sequel is out now, and Deathless Girls, definitely keeping. When I've done this video, I'm literally going to be putting all my stuff on the shelves, but it's not necessarily going to be in like the perfect order, so I probably will be rejigging it at some point. So let me know if you want to see a bookcase organisation. I love watching other people's, but I don't know if that's something that people actually like watching. All's Well, definitely staying. Dark Shade of Magic, that is literally my next read. I'm so glad I found that. Staying. Magnolia Parks, staying. Rhapsodic, staying. Ninth House, I really need to get to now that Hellbent is out. Fortuna Sworn, staying. Shadow in the Ember, staying. War of Two Queens, staying. The Marvelous Light is being unhauled, and I know exactly who I'm giving it to. And I have been saying this for like a long time. I just couldn't get into it. I tried the audiobook, couldn't get into it, and I feel like she will really enjoy it, and it's a really pretty edition, so that's going. And we have an Illumicrate book, which is probably something I've forgotten I even had. Yes, The Whispering Dark, staying. Look how stunning that one is. They all just fell on my head, and I hope that doesn't happen again. I know that this box is basically a box of keeps. Probably my Sarah J Maas. So any Sarah J Maas is staying. Flames, Court of Mist of Fury, Court of Frost of Starlight, Court of Wings of Ruin, and ACOTAR itself. I need to do a reread of all of these. But I just remember like how I felt when I first read this book, and I just know that reading it this time is going to be so much different. Yep, House of Earth and Blood, keeping. Punk 57, keeping. It Ends With Us, keeping. Verity, keeping. November 9th, Need to Read, and The Love Hypothesis, keeping. These are like all my romance books for when I'm actually in the mood for romance. Dahlia Green Doesn't Care, keeping, although I'm not sure if I'll actually ever read this. It sounds like a really cool book, but I just don't ever lean for it. Spanish Love Deception, keeping. Guild, keeping, to go with my non-matching other one. Pretending, definitely keeping. This is one that I saw, like, I picked out myself without seeing it on like TikTok or anything else, and it actually sounds really good. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, keeping. I need to get around to reading that. Coldest Touch, keeping. Hamnet, not keeping. I tried to read this and I think I got like 40 pages in actually, but I just couldn't get into it. I really tried and it was just slow. And when I spoke to some people on BookTube, like I think I was in a sprint and I put in the chat that I was reading Hamnet, but I had to like DNF it. They and some other people said that it was like really unnecessarily slow the whole way through, and I just can't deal with that. So I'm gonna be saying goodbye to that one, unfortunately. We have All the Feels by Olivia Dade. I'm gonna keep. I have to keep my romances because it's such a rare mood, so I have to keep them for when I have that mood. Ugly Love, keeping. Good Girl Bad Blood is staying, and As Good as Dead is staying. I really enjoyed the first book, Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I've heard that this one is really good, but obviously I'm not going to skip the second one. So keeping. Song of Achilles, keeping. Again, I don't find myself reaching for this, but I've heard that this is like such a beautifully written sad book that I have to keep it. Okay, these are so close to falling over. I need to start a third pile. Well, we knew that was coming. Okay, so I have a bunch of books here. So we have The Snowman by Jo Nesbø. I couldn't get into the book, couldn't get into the film. Really disappointed. I literally bought this when I was like 18. And I've never been able to read it because I just couldn't get into it, so goodbye. We have The Cruel Prince. I am I am unhauling this because I actually have another copy because I ended up buying the trilogy from the works for like the same price as this one book. And the same for Throne of Glass. As you've seen at the start of this video, I do already have the full box set, so I don't need this single copy. We then have Survive the Night, which is staying. Witherwood is staying, that was a gift. Haunting of Hill House is staying. If We Were Villains, definitely staying. I need to get around to that. Princess of Souls. What was this one about? Yes, that one's staying. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm going to keep at least until I finish the whole set, and then I'll decide whether I want to keep them or not. I don't know how much of readability it's going to have as a trilogy. House of Hollow is staying. The Sly Will Kill You is staying. Love on the Brain is staying. This is actually the one that I'm more looking forward to reading out of the two Ali Hazelwood books I have. Bunny is staying. I'm glad I found it because I was like proper going through it and annotating, and it's like the first book that I've really done that for. I need to finish it. Final Girls is staying. We have A Light in the Flame, which is a From Blood and Ash book. It's the sequel to Shadow in the Ember. This is The Ones We Burn from Fairy Loot. Very stunning. Definitely keeping. This video is going to be so long to edit. Now, this box is literally all my Fairy Loot and Illumicrate books, so the chances of them staying is highly likely purely because of the looks. However, I am trying to be a bit critical and passing the ones that I don't think I'll read onto people who will read them, because I know that there's a lot of people that are still on waiting lists and there's like specific books that people are looking forward to, so if I don't think I'm going to read them, then I'm gonna have to get rid of them. But Kingdom of the Curse is staying. Also, if you're watching this and you're selling the Kingdom of the Wicked Fairy Loot edition, I need that, but I refuse to pay like £200 for it. That's just ridiculous. Daughter of the Moon Goddess is staying. Jade Fire Gold is staying. I've heard really good things about it. Six Crimson Cranes is staying. I like that they match with Spinning Silver. A River Enchanted is staying. However, I have a feeling that it's going to be unhauled. These Hollow Vows is staying. This Woven Kingdom is staying. Look, The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea is staying. I think that sounds like a really cool like tale. Once Upon a Broken Heart. I think I might unhaul this and get the normal versions of both the books, because I have read it and I did enjoy it, and I do want to get Ballad of Never After. However, I didn't get the Fairy Loot version, and I feel like somebody is probably looking for this, and to be honest, I'd rather have the Waterstones editions that have like the skull and stuff on the front. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it for a second, but I think I'm gonna unhaul that one. Okay, so we have an Illumicrate one that is in this bag still. We have the Illuminaries. Yes, I remember them. You Are Staying. Cool Illusions, absolutely stunning. Sounds really fun. We'll be keeping. We also have Stephen King's Sleeping Beauties. We'll be keeping. The Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. We'll be keeping, especially after I went through so much effort to actually get a decent copy, because the first one I received, all the pages were ripped, like literally all of them. It looked like someone had got a knife and just gone. We'll be keeping. If I ever tell you I'm moving again, can someone just like, I don't know, shoot me or something? I have only unhauled 13 books and a box set. I don't think that's enough. This Vicious Grace, The Darkening. Sounds interesting, but I'm not sure if it's going to be for me, so it might get unhauled like after I've read it. Violet Mid of Thorns, Wolf and the Woodsman. Honestly, I might unhaul this. When I got this book, I was obsessed with like the colour of the book and how like pretty it is, and the artwork, oh, that is stunning. But I keep not really reaching for it. But it's about a pagan village, so I feel like I will like it. I'll keep it for now. Blood Scion is a big unhaul. Not my thing at all. Belladonna, definitely keeping. Book of Night, definitely keeping. However, I think I have 2 copies. I have 2 copies because Fairy Loot and Illumicrate did the exact same thing. Well, the exact same book on the exact same month. So I really like how they look together, so I will probably keep both, to be honest. Unless I don't like the book that much. Stardust Thief, the book theme. This box was labelled books, and then it had Blood and Ash and Kingdom of the Wicked written on it, and neither of those book sets are in there. Book Eaters is a short fun book, so I think I'll keep it. Devil Makes 3, again, I was like really looking forward to this. I've not heard very good things, so I think it might be an unhaul, guys. By the Night, I've had really mixed reviews on this. I can't even remember what it's about, to be honest. Oh, it's about an apothecary apprentice. Okay, I might keep this one. And then we have Scallon. I absolutely love this book, and it's a V. Schwab book, so naturally I'm gonna keep it. That is all the boxes to my right, or your left, but I still have 5 boxes to go. And then I've got to put them all away, and all my accessories. Okay, so we have Lore Olympus, which is staying. We have Willow, which is staying. Sad Ghost Club, Heartstopper. I adore this graphic novel, but whenever I've had the opportunity to buy the other 4 or 3, I've not really wanted to. So I don't know whether to just keep this one for nostalgia, because I've read pretty much all of it online. So I might keep it just for that. I might get the rest of them. I'm not really sure. Little Thieves. I think this is the one I was thinking of when I was thinking of the Red Wolf one. I don't know. I think this is one that I've not heard very good things about, to be honest, but I'll keep it and give it a go. We have Tomy, definitely staying. Also by Junji Ito, we have Sensor. And we have Death Note volumes 1 and 2, which is staying. Only a Monster. Again, I've not really heard very good things about this. I'm going to keep it and give it a go, because Portrait of a Thief is staying. My Harry Potter illustrated edition is definitely staying. I am not the creator of this idea. I saw India from What India Read to this video, and I'm in basically the same kind of position as she is, so I thought it could be fun. I need to get rid of a bunch of books anyway, so India, if you see this, I am taking inspiration from you. I doubt you'll be watching my videos, but I am definitely not the first person to do this, and I probably won't be the last either. But India is who I saw do it. Here are some of my babies. So we have Kingdom of Ash, which is actually, I'm pretty sure it's signed. Yeah, I don't really know what this edition is, but I got it from Book Depository. All of these printed glass hardbacks will be staying, obviously, so I'm just going to speed through. Right, we are on the last 4 books. No, not 4 books, 4 boxes. Don't get ahead of yourself. Right, this is a little one. When I was in the shower just now, and it was making a really loud noise in here, so I stopped filming and read like a chapter of Darker Shade of Magic. From Blood and Ash, King of Battle Blood, X-Hat. I read this. Am I going to read it again? I honestly don't know. I'm going to keep it because I did really enjoy it. Crave and keep because I want to get the rest of the series. Spirited, Sorcerer of Thorns, Caraval. I might actually unhaul this because I have the hardback version of all three. My mum got it for me for like not Christmas just gone, the Christmas before, so I might unhaul that one because I don't really need 2 copies of it. We Hunt the Flame, Inheritance Games. Yeah, please let me know if a like bookcase organization video is something you want to see, because I do have one more bookcase to build and get up on the wall, which is one that I didn't have before I moved. I got it from IKEA yesterday. So that's gonna have, I think, my specials on because it's one of the like half size shelves. So yeah, if you want to watch, if you want to see that, let me know, because when I put them on the shelves in a bit, there's not going to be like a major order to it. I'm just going to get them on the shelf. I know where I want some of them, like my Harry Potter ones will be on the bottom because I've read them once, and they're ones that I will go back to. They're like comfort to me. So I think this is a box full of, I haven't actually seen that many hardbacks, and I know that I have quite a few. We have Kingdom of the Cursed normal edition. Okay, so I'm not sure about this because I have the normal edition for Kingdom of the Wicked, normal edition for Kingdom of the Cursed, which means I'll probably get normal edition. But I can either get normal edition of Kingdom of the Fairies that have all 3 in normal edition, or I try and get the Fairy Loot edition of Kingdom of the Wicked, so I have all 3 in Fairy Loot edition. But honestly, that one's so hard to get hold of, and it not be like over £100. I do have these Twisted Bonds, Kingdom of the Wicked. These are my From Blood and Ash hardbacks, so I will be keeping all of them. She Who Became the Sun. Now, when I first got this, I thought I was gonna like really love it, be into it so far, but I haven't picked it up and I just don't know if I will. I feel like I will keep it for now. Her Majesty's Royal Coven, definitely keeping. Year of the Reaper, another one which I haven't heard great things about, but it really intrigues me, so I'm gonna keep it. The Gilded Ones, heard really good things about this. It's actually the first ever special edition book that I got. It's an Owl Crate edition, so there's kind of like nostalgia value because it was the first special edition like book box I got, so I'm gonna keep it for now. And Sweet and Bitter Magic I'm gonna keep because I want to get around to it maybe this like Halloween. Throne I actually have up for sale on my Depop already, so I am unhauling that one. A vengeful princess seeking to depose her brother from his throne, and a priestess searching for her family, and they like cross paths at some point, I think. But I mean, it sounds really good, but I just found myself not ever reaching for it. Like somebody could really enjoy it. Lore, I am tempted to unhaul this. However, I worked so hard to get a copy of this, but I really couldn't get into it, and I don't know if maybe I need to reread it because other people who love like the same kind of books that I love really enjoyed this, and I don't know if it was just like wrong book or right book wrong time kind of situation where I just wasn't in the mindset or whatever for it. But this is like a stunning edition. I remember being in absolute love with it, and I love Greek mythology, so I was so disappointed when I didn't get into it. Maybe I just need to give it another go. I'm gonna keep it for now, and if I can't get into it the second time around, then it is going. Empire of the Vampire is 100% staying, no question about it. The Atlas 6, House of Sky and Breath, absolutely no question about it, staying. And House of Earth and Blood, Fire with Fire, and City of Dusk, staying. I just want to give a shout out to Connor who packed all my books for me because I was working and we needed to be packing. He's done such a good job. They're all in such good condition. I haven't found a single one that's like damaged. So well done you, Connor. We are now on the last box. It is actually the biggest one, I think. And by the looks of it, it's full of hardbacks. Now, I find it so much harder to get rid of hardbacks. My camera is gonna die. So I'm gonna have to try and kind of rush through this. I've just realised that I am actually missing books because I haven't seen Serpent and Dove anywhere unless they're in here. Classics, keeping. Magpie Society, keeping. Echoes and Empires, keeping. Marion Lane and the Midnight Murder. Groundbreaker, keeping, although I don't have the best hopes for it. Another classic. Dorian Gray, keeping. V. Schwab, Addie LaRue, 100% keeping. I actually want to get the anniversary edition because I love that book so much. In the Ravenous Dark, keeping. Bad Heroines, Maidens, definitely keeping. Finale, as well as the other Caraval books, Legendary and Caraval. Down Comes the Night, definitely keeping. It's like a gothic fiction. See, I tried so hard to get this book and I can't believe I haven't read it yet. Prison Healer, keeping. It was a gift. Threadneedle, keeping. Really enjoyed this book. Now, that is all my boxes as far as I'm aware, but I am so sure that I have more books somewhere, but I may have to wrap this video up now because I've just found another box. I'm gonna have to put my camera on charge and then come back for the last box, I think, because my camera's not gonna survive another box. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I charged her up a bit and I'm gonna carry on because otherwise I'm gonna be filming this in the dark. I don't really feel like doing that considering I still need to get all these books on the shelves. We are now on the last box. I did find one. Can't believe I found one. We have a bunch of poetry. I'm going to keep it all because I haven't really read any of it. The Women of Some Kind of Magic series. Watering the Soul. The Sun and Her Flowers and Milk and Honey. They Are Staying. Brandon Sanderson is Laini Taylor, Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, which is staying. Serpent and Dove series, which is staying. Night Circus is staying. I've got such a small, like, copy though. Like, what? Look. Like a normal paperback and my Night Circus. Are they all like that? Or have I just got like a weird copy? We have the Fog of the Air series, B. Schwab, The Near Witch, Sandra Clare's Clockwork Princess, Clockwork Prince, Angel, keeping those. Chain of Iron, which I need to get in. I might unhaul this one because I want to get the paperback to match Chain of Gold. Either that or I will try and find a Chain of Gold hardback. And then I also have Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows from the Dark Artifices. And last but not least, we have the Gracelyn trilogy, which I am also keeping. I didn't need to do that last box because I just kept them all anyway, but I can't remember what I was missing and now I'm pretty sure I've got all my books. So yeah, so the ones that are potentially going, we have The Devil Make 3. This is about these two, I think young adults or teenagers, stumble across a ancient book hidden in a secret tunnel beneath their school library. They accidentally release the devil from his book-bound prison and he'll stop at nothing to stay free. So it does sound fun, but I've not heard the best things from that one. Zion, which is about a girl who basically has the power of fire and she can like incinerate anyone. She's a descendant from a god, but her kind, like who she is, means her death, so she's been hidden and like hiding her abilities until her 15th birthday when she is scripted into the army. Once she's taken, she must not only conceal her power but overcome the bloody challenges of training. If she can infiltrate the army, she could destroy her enemies, the people who think of her as less than human, the overlords responsible for her mother's disappearance. She rises through the ranks and gains strength, but in doing so risks something greater than losing herself entirely and becoming the very monster she abhors. I don't know if it's like the cover that's putting me off or the story, because that kind of sounds good. I don't know. I know when I got this, I was like, I don't really think that's for me. Friend of Glad. Everyone and their mum kind of knows what this is about. But we follow, what's her name in this one? Selena, and she is a slave in the salt mines, but she's a trained assassin and she is given the chance to win her freedom by representing the prince in a to the death tournament, and then if she wins she gets her freedom. And then Cruel Prince, which follows Prince Carden and Jude. One terrible morning, Jude and her sisters see their parents murdered. The fearsome assassin abducts all three girls to the fairy court, where Jude soon realises that to survive she needs to be as cunning and deceitful as the Fae themselves. But the stairway to power is fraught with shadows and betrayal, and looming over all is the arrogant and charismatic Prince Carden. Enemies to lovers. Love to see it, but I've got both of these copies, so somebody else can have those. We have The Snowman by Jo Nesbø. I've had this one, like I said, since I was like 16. It follows is it a detective? Yeah, so a young boy wakes to find his mother missing. The house is empty, but outside in the garden he sees his mother's favourite scarf wrapped around the neck of a snowman. As Detective Harry Hole and his team begin their investigation, they discover that an alarming number of wives and mothers have gone missing over the years. When a second woman disappears, it seems that Harry's worst suspicions are confirmed. For the first time in his career, he finds himself confronted with a serial killer operating on his home turf. So, it sounds amazing, but I just couldn't get into it, and I couldn't get into the film either, so goodbye. We then have Hamnet, which is about a girl and her brother who falls ill with a fever, and there's nobody at home. Basically, it's just them. And it is a novel inspired by the son of a famous playwright, a boy whose life has been all but forgotten, but whose name was given to one of the most celebrated plays ever written, which is Hamlet. But I mean, from what I did read, it was like it was very well written. It was just too slow for me. I don't know if it's that historical fiction is not for me, or if this type of historical fiction is not for me. We then have A Marvelous Light, which is about a secret magical society in is it in London? This guy becomes in charge of a secret society. He ends up discovering this world of magic that lies beneath the world he already knows. He has to confront both the dangers and the beauty of magic. I just, again, couldn't get into it. I tried physical, I tried audio, but I couldn't get into it. I know someone who I think will like this, so I am going to give that to her. Deadly Education, I'm a bit torn about this one because I don't know if I am going to get the other two in physical. I think I might just get audiobook because it'll be easier to read or listen to, because I found it really hard reading this, and I'm not the only person to say that either. It's just the writing style is very like, it's really hard. It's just like hard to like wrap your head around, although like the premise of the book is so good, but I just can't get past that writing style. So I think I'm going to pick up the other two in audio. We then have Beasts of Prey, which is about a beastkeeper at an infamous night zoo in which they care for some really fearsome creatures to pay off her family's debts, until she mistakenly unleashes a wild and mysterious power that sends the night zoo up in flames. And then there's another person who is destined to become an elite warrior like his father and brother before him, until the fire at the night zoo throws his destiny into disaster and he is cast out forever. Thrown together, Kofi and Ekon have only one choice. They must enter the terrifying greater jungle and capture the Shatani, the legendary monster that has plagued Lokossa for a century. Magic has returned to Lokossa and the hunt has begun. It sounds good on paper, but I don't know if it's something that I personally want to enjoy, and again, I'm pretty sure I've heard not very good things. I've been sat here for over an hour now. We have the two graphic novels, which I have been through. I'll just read you the synopsis for this one, just in case you're interested. Everyone says that your college years are the best years of your life, but what comes next? When Aurora Rosenberg Gonzalez's plans are derailed by an inconvenient plainside breakup, she decides she needs a new life plan and fast. Too embarrassed to tell her parents that she never went to an endangered dragon sanctuary in Australia with the boyfriend they never approved of, Rory swears her BFF Angela Jeong to secrecy. Angela, meanwhile, has just started a very prestigious internship at a leading crypto pharmacy lab, studying the use of magical plants for medicinal purposes. Her boss is tougher than anticipated and just happens to be Rory's mother. I just have to read with a cat on my shoulder. Rory and Angela's friendship is put to the test as they explore how becoming new people can transform an old relationship. Can their bond withstand the pressures of new secrets and old resentments, blossoming romances and postgraduate study? Will they be helped or hindered by the nitpicking of their familiars, Archie the Owl and Runda the Hedgehog? And can anyone, define praxis? You can stay on my lap, it's okay. I'm sorry if you can hear purring. Pepe's decided it's cuddle time. We then have They Both Die at the End. I already spoke about this. We then have Paper Towns by John Green. It follows a boy trying to track down this girl after she disappears, and he believes that she's left him clues. Turns out that they weren't really left for him to follow. I haven't read John Green since I was in secondary school, and I just don't think his writing will be for me anymore. And then we have The Ivory Key, which I did read the blurb for earlier. I just don't think it's going to be something that I will overly enjoy. And then we have Sally Rooney's Conversation with Friends. Again, I just don't feel like Sally Rooney's writing and like books are going to be for me. If I decide I want to read it, I will pick it up on Kindle or ebook, but I think I just bought it mostly because so many people hyped about it, but I just don't think it's like my thing. And then the last one, which I can't pick up with Pepe on me right now, is the Game of Thrones box set, but not because I don't want to read it or anything, but because we already have that exact box set, and I bought it under the impression that it was going to be a different style box set, because I wanted my own version, but I didn't want it to be the same as Connor's, so for that reason we do not need both, and I will be getting rid of it. I think that's a fair pile of books to be unhauling, to be honest. It's better than I thought I was going to do, So I'm quite impressed with myself. Oh, and we also have Caramel. But yeah, I'm quite impressed with myself. I honestly didn't think I'd even do that much. So I am very pleased. That is it from me today, guys. I now need to go and put all these books onto the bookcase. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I think they're just going to get put on and then moved around in another video. If you do want to see an organizational video from me, then please let me know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up because it really helps. And if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe. I need to give this boy some cuddles because he's very needy. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.